All right, guys, welcome to another special episode of Candace. Here's my theory. I believe that the elites are aiming for clinical retardation. I'm not kidding. I believe that if somebody produced a study right now and said, don't drink water, 50% of people in the world would perish. They would die because they would suddenly just stop drinking water because the data says don't drink water.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to a special edition of the Alistair Williams channel. I also have a theory. My theory is that the elites have reached a point where they are deliberately revealing themselves and some of their workings, and they are doing so through a network of new narrative gatekeepers that tell you 80% truth. You know, there's a lot of truth in what they're saying, but in many cases, they will be ridiculous characters that 90% of people would be sort of reviled and appalled by. You know, they're sort of really over the top and crazy, and they're deliberately gross. They're deliberately sort of just obtuse, and like the average person would sort of just look at them and be like, oh, whatever they're saying, I can't stand it because it's coming out of the mouth of someone that I just, 90% of them I absolutely detest. And some of these new narrative gatekeepers are easy to spot. Usually they have the story behind them of, oh, this guy is cancelled, and oh, the establishment hates this person because they're out there telling the truth. In the meantime, they're one of the most famous people on the planet. One of them's coming up in a second, and he's one of the most he's one of the worst offenders of this. Candace Owens is actually one of the sort of the best disguised ones, because she doesn't come across sort of clownish at all. She's not been through any sort of a humiliation ritual. She's not been arrested for sex trafficking or anything like that, which is strange. But I think perhaps the role that she's playing is to remain sort of very sort of intellectual and, sort of upstanding, so that she can lend her credibility to some of the other ones who are just obviously clownish. And that's certainly what I believe is going on here in this video. And if I could just add to the first part of my point and my theory, I don't believe that the elites are the real enemy. Our enemy is not flesh and blood. We're not fighting against the elites. We're not fighting against a group of human beings, okay? Our enemy is evil in high places. It's a spiritual war that's taking place. It's not a war between these humans and these humans. It's actually a spiritual war that's taking place. And when people are sort of directing you towards, oh, it's us against the elites, I believe really what they're doing is obscuring the actual battle that's taking place, which is a battle between people to either understand the truth or to miss the truth. And the truth is Jesus, basically. If people who are out there who are telling you that all of the problems that we're having are because we turned away from God, and if we return to God, all these problems would go away, they are telling you the truth. And people who are telling you that Jesus is the way, the truth, and life, they're telling the truth. Anyone that's telling you anything else is leading you away from the only thing that could save you. Okay? Jesus is the only thing that can save you from this world. That's the truth. Okay? And that's going to throw some of you through a loop. And a lot of you are going to be like, wait a minute, I don't want to listen to any of this because I didn't come here to hear that Jesus is the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is Jesus. Jesus is the truth. Okay? The only way out of this is to turn to God. That's the only way out of this. Okay? And a lot of people, they don't want to see. And these videos that I make, they're not popular. I realize these people have got huge followings. Andrew Tate, Candace, they've got huge followings of people that would like my content. They're people who are like, I don't believe the narrative and I want somebody else. And the establishment has got people ready to go for you. If you are like, I don't want to believe the mainstream narrative, I want something else. It's like, oh, boy, have we got a guy for you. He's a Romanian sex trafficker, okay? He's just outwardly misogynistic. He's got a history of sex trafficking and stuff. 99% of women on the planet are going to be absolutely appalled by him, and he is someone that you should follow and run after. And by the way, he's now acting really clownish and idiotic, and he's just really gross about being rich and stuff. And it's just, that's who you should follow, you know? They've got a whole network of these guys, and they're constantly cross-promoting each other, you know. And I'm not saying anyone who follows these people is an idiot or anything like that. Like, I used to make videos about how great Candace Owens was. I used to think that she was amazing because she was, you know, going against the narrative. Everyone's on their own journey. I didn't instantly look at these people. I remember the first time I saw an Andrew Tate video, I thought, wow, this guy's telling the truth about the pandemic. He's so on my level. Now, you know, the longer it goes on, the more obvious the type of things I'm saying are. And I'm just going to analyze just a little bit of this clown showy video and just sort of point these things out and highlight to you with the aim of just showing you that you might not think that Jesus is the one that's going to save you. But if you don't think that, then maybe you think Candace Owens or Andrew Tate are going to save you, and they are completely fake, phony, and false. You know, and there really is nobody that's coming to save you of this world, okay? The people that run this world really are evil, but it is spiritual wickedness in high places that we're battling against. It's, you know, it's a battle between good and evil, essentially, okay? It's not a battle against the elites. It's not like, the problem isn't that these elites are evil and we're all so good. The problem is that human beings are inherently evil. The problem is sin. The problem is that we all want to be selfish and do things for ourselves. And the solution is to love others, treat others as you would want them to be treated, turn to Jesus, read the Bible, believe in God, and change who you are, accept that Christ died for your sins, everything you've ever done wrong is forgiven, and live for Jesus. That's the real truth. That's the real battle, okay? The battle is not, oh, the elites are doing this to you, and if you just listen to Andrew Tate, you'll be fine. You know? But anyway, that's going to put 90% of the people watching this video off, but I don't care. Okay? Not making this video for me. I'm making this video for the truth and to glorify Jesus. Without any further ado, let's go.
And obviously, I've showed you guys many times my podcast, my favorite clip on the internet this year, because it explains exactly my philosophy in life. It's the reason why we designed the second edition of the Candace Cups to say, don't care, built different. It's very important for you guys to take a listen to Andrew Tate explaining what we can garner from the data, as he says. Take a listen.
Before we go any further, I'd just like to point out that Candace Owens referenced this as her favorite clip on the internet. Candace Owens, the great intellectual, the great thinker, the great, incredible, free-spirited, independent. You can't get any BS past Candace Owens. She's so switched on. Women love Candace Owens because she's right-wing. She's so switched on. This is what she thinks is the best clip on the internet. This is, ready?
I'm glad I'm super rich. You know, now that I'm super rich, I get to be one of those crazy rich guys who acts unusual.
This is Candace Owens' favorite clip. Candace Owens is a professing Christian, believer in Jesus, right? And her favorite clip is a guy with his clothes off, apart from some weird kickboxing shorts, sitting in front of a Lamborghini or something, with the opening statement, "I'm glad I'm super rich." This is her favorite video.
And they're like, oh, he's a bit eccentric, but he's rich, so he gets away with it. Like wearing a microphone on his chest. Everyone else puts a suit on, hides the microphone. I'm like, get a microphone, bro. Don't care. Built different. Don't care. One of my habits now is ignoring all data.
See, the deception here is quite a detailed one, because what the enemy likes to do is take some of the truth, put it in the mouth of somebody ridiculous, have them say it. It's always 90% truth. Their agenda's always in there somewhere. You know, so a lot of the times, things that, you know, Andrew Tate might be saying, I don't necessarily have a problem with, you know, the content of what he's saying. And some people are like, well, what he's saying sounds correct. What are you talking about? It's like, look at the way it's presented. He's deliberately dressed up and positioned in a way that's just, it's stupid and it's gross, you know? Sitting there in kickboxing shorts. Oh, well, my problem is with the data. You know, he's clowning. He's clowning. It's reached the point where he's just coming across like a really bad actor to me. You know, this whole like, I'm super rich and I don't care and I'm a bro and I say bruv and no. That's the character he's been given. And he's now playing this character really badly. The character's been sort of dialed up to sort of 12 and it's coming across just sort of really unbelievable now. And whoever his handlers are or whatever, they're obviously telling him, you know, we want this content to come across like ridiculous now because it's part of the way that they sort of spiritually oppress people that follow people like Andrew Tate. It's like, you know, they want to follow the truth and they want to follow, you know, somebody that's giving them the truth. So they make this character of Andrew Tate more and more ridiculous. So the sort of false choice that you have is if you want to follow the truth, you have to follow this idiot. And he's going to get more and more bizarre and more gross. He's going to be arrested for sex trafficking and he's going to be wearing little tight shorts in front of a fast car and he's going to be saying stupid things like, I'm really rich and I love being rich and I don't remember that data. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not the way you act if you're interested in really telling people the truth. You know, this is a clown show. And the more you watch this, the more you realize this guy's clowning.
It's great. I love when people come to me and say, actually, we've got the data to prove. To prove what, you little What are you going to prove to me? I can prove to you that the ice caps are melting. There's ice in my water right now. I'm going to leave the water unattended until the ice melts. Will the water overflow out of the cup? No. Why are all the richest, most important people in the world who are pushing this scam buying beachfront homes?
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, we all know that climate change is a scam. We all know the ice caps aren't really melting. We all know it's a scam. But you show this video of Andrew... Show this video of Andrew Tate to somebody who is completely normal, who believes in climate change, and see if he changes their mind. You know? You bear in mind the messenger that the message is coming from. You think they're going to take this guy seriously? Sitting there in his pants in front of a car. I'm super rich. Like, you know what I mean? Do you understand that 99% of women will just listen to this guy, look at him, and, you know, he uses constantly swearing, constantly saying bitches, and, you know, 99% of women will just automatically be like, I hate this guy and what he's saying. You know, do you understand? So the deception that you've got to be a bit more switched on, have a bit more discernment than this guy's saying climate change is bad. He's on my side. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine the guy with a pair of pants on his head and pencils coming out of his nose and being like, climate change is a load of nonsense. And he's got this huge audience and he's dressed up like an idiot, like a clown. You know, this is who Andrew Tate is. You know, he's designed to take the truth and just smear it with the feces of his own made-up, gross personality. And Candace Owens is supposed to be too smart to fall for something like this. If you believe the persona of Candace Owens is super switched on, conservative, bright star, amazing thinker, and she's been taken in by this video, she thinks that this guy is incredible. The guy in his pants, calling women bitches, in front of a car, showing off how rich he is, swearing all the time. She's taken in by this guy.
The data's from the Matrix, and you are the Matrix, and the Matrix is full of lies.
You see what I mean about the obvious clowning? Like, dude. It's so obvious. A child could spot this, you know? This is part of the agenda to just infantilize you. If you don't believe the mainstream narrative, they give you someone who's a giant adult baby. You know, just a real 5-year-old dressed up in kickboxing shorts. You know, that they tell you is brilliant because he's rich. You know, I guarantee you the reason he's rich is because he is agreeing to play the role of somebody who's just leading people who are seeking the truth off the end of a cliff like a lemming. That's the reason why he's rich. He's not rich because he's this brilliant, incredible, tough-thinking, anti-establishment person. If this guy was really as big of a thorn in the establishment side, you know, as he portrays himself that he was, he'd be dead or completely silent. He wouldn't have a YouTube. There'd be no way for you to find out about him. You know, people who really get cancelled, they don't have this giant presence on the internet. You know, they end up like me, in a little cabin, you know, barely able for anyone to get any views on anything, no matter how many subscribers they're supposed to have. You know, that's what really happens. You know, this guy is a giant clown that they have occasionally say things that are true to make the truth seem clownish.
Anyone who actually analyzes data nowadays proves they're a dumbass. Have you seen that graph thing, that meme where you have the most stupid people and the most intelligent people do the same thing? And then you have the midwit in the middle. Data is for midwits. You know? Well, the data says. Yeah, the data says. Well, actually, I guess statistically.
This is Candace Owens' Incredible Thinker favorite video of the year. Data is for nitwits. Right. Yep. Okay, this is incredible high-level thinking. Data is for nitwits. Right.
The pharmaceutical company who sells the jab made the data. Why are you even reading it? Why are you reading it? There were stupid people who sat there and said, the jab's made of 5G cellular data. And then there was extremely intelligent people like me who said, I don't trust these motherfuckers.
You see what I mean? I mean, there's truth mixed in there, but it's mixed in with potty mouth, eccentric, numbskullery, gross, I'm rich, I'm sitting in front of my car with my sunshades on, my big bald head. You know what I mean? It's once you know the formula that's at play, it so sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it?
And we both didn't get the jab. All the people in the middle were like, well, the data says, and the news said. They wouldn't just make us all take a jab for no reason. Jabby jab, jabby jab. If you even look at data nowadays, you're a dumbass. You should just know. Street smart people don't need data. We've just been around. You know? I've just been around. I just know things because I've just been around on the street.
Okay. Using that philosophy, some things you just know because you've been around on the street. Let me tell you something that I just know because I've been around and on the street. Okay, let me tell you something I just know. This guy does not say bruv in his everyday life. Okay, the following clip I'm about to play you is not a clip of someone who naturally says bruv. Ready?
Get a microphone, bruv.
That was one of the worst bruvs I've ever heard in my life. Give it a bugging microphone, bruv. Nope. Missed. It sounds like one of those characters on a BBC sitcom that's been told to say fam, you know, or lit. Give me the microphone, fam. Like, you know, no. Give me the microphone, bruv. You know, he's tried to put a bit of like brev on there, but he's failed. Give me the microphone, brev. Nope. Missed. You know, you asking me to use sweet smarts? I just know, I've been around. I know the way you said bruv there, that you're faking it. I know that it's in a script somewhere, okay, and they know that people will say bruv from a certain background, and they want you to be like that. So say bruv, will you? Say bruv, but it's not a natural thing that he says.
Get a microphone, bruv. If somebody's trying to give you something for free so desperately, it's probably a trap. When you're street smart like me, you're on the corner. You, your boys, some bitches.
This guy's from the streets. This guy, you think Andrew Tate was brought up on roads? Andrew Tate, he's from the streets with his boys and the BITCH. You think Andrew Tate is from the streets? That's what you think? That's what you reckon? Dude, Andrew Tate was trying to be famous for the longest time. He was on Big Brother a while ago. You know, he's been desperately trying to be famous for a long time. He's not from the streets. All of this about him is fake. Find me some footage of this guy. He's supposed to be a world champion kickboxer. Find me some footage of him competing in a high-level kickboxing bout, which looks like it's a world championship fight with loads of people in the crowd. Find me that. You know, there's plenty of footage of Andrew Tate that exists. It's very different to his current persona.
I don't wanna.
Guy comes up to you, goes, "You want a hamburger?" Not really. Hamburgers are good for you. If you don't eat, you'll die. Yeah. You should really have this hamburger. I don't want it. If you don't have this hamburger, you're going to lose your job, and we're going to lock you in your house. I don't trust him or his hamburger. Why were you people like, well, do you have a study about this hamburger? Do you have some data on the hamburger? Oh, it says that protein's good for you. Give it to me. Dumbass. The guy who got the hamburger is trying to force it down your neck, pulled a study out of his.
Okay, how about this one? Do I trust someone who's supposed to be cancelled? Okay, supposed to be this thorn on the side of the establishment, supposed to be cancelled, yet he's super rich, and I can't avoid him everywhere I go on social media, and he's got this ridiculous persona. He's sticking it to the man, and he's out there wearing his cycling shorts in front of a big car with this big, ridiculous, incredibly high production values. You know what I'm saying? Like, by your own rationale here, something stinks about you, Brev.
It's perfect. We're going to jump right into a conversation with it's I've watched it too many times.
You've watched that too many times. You're supposed to be this intellectual, bright star, clean thinker. You've watched that clip that I just ridiculed easily. Candace Owens wants you to believe that she's this really high-level thinker that's on your side, that's anti-establishment, and she has watched that clip too many times. Even though it's pantomime and childish and just ridiculous. She's watched it so many times. That's what you're being asked to believe.
Well, it's kind of funny because you probably have this also. You have a point of view and people say to you, where do you get this point of view? Why can you think that? What source does it come from? I've been around. How can you think anything else? You know, and I'm not one to get in trouble, but I recently watched your show when you were talking about Macron, wife, husband, whichever one it was. The dude. And people were saying to me, Andrew, what do you think about that? And I said, well, yeah, 100% his wife is a man. And they said, why? It's like, because he looks like a little you can see it. So what more do you want to see? You can see on his face. You can see on Macron's face that he's exactly the kind of person who would be groomed by a man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious.
And then it's the common sense aspect where they're like, first and foremost, they are producing no evidence to the contrary. 30 years, not a single picture of this person exists.
Yep.
We have plenty of pictures of his brother who suddenly went missing at the exact same time that Brigitte was born at the age of 30.
Yep.
And people don't have that common sense to go, wait, that is quite strange. Why are they not able to just easily debunk this? And instead, you're going to call everyone else crazy. And the thing that should terrify people is the fact, which you describe it as the Matrix, I think that actually is the right term, is that the Matrix works overtime to make it seem as though the people who recognize the insanity, recognize the homosexuality, recognize the pedophilia are in fact the people that are crazy.
I don't know if she did this on purpose, but she accidentally just exposed her whole operation. She says key things there. She says, people should be terrified, right? The establishment want you to be terrified. And people like Candace Owens and Andrew Tate, they're there to make you terrified. They're made as, the Matrix, you're in the Matrix. You're not in the Matrix. The same spirit that resurrected Jesus is inside of you. You are incredibly powerful. I'm not in the Matrix. God is with me. Do you understand? I'm not in the Matrix. I'm not of this world. My Father's in heaven. I am incredibly more powerful than these fools because God is with me. Do you understand? They want you to be terrified. Okay? And she gives away her own operation. You know, they want you to be terrified and they want you to believe that you're powerless. And Andrew Tate and Candace Owens are a big part of this.
The Matrix works overtime to make it seem as though the people who recognize the insanity, recognize the homosexuality, recognize the pedophilia are in fact the people that are crazy.
Right. Exactly. They want you that recognize that something's wrong with the world to appear crazy. And how do they do that? Well, they take someone like Andrew Tate and they have him make videos about how there's something wrong with the world, and they have him act crazy. You know what I'm saying? Candace is blowing the lid off her own operation. It's like they want you to live in this world where if you can see there's something wrong with the world, you seem crazy. So they give you someone like Andrew Tate who's like, I'm in the Matrix, I'm part of the Matrix, and I'm sitting here in my shorts, and I'm rich, and I'm bald, and bitches this, and homos that, and he looks crazy. He looks insane. You know? Candace Owens and Andrew Tate, they are doing exactly what Candace Owens is saying that they love to do. They want your only choice to either be part of this world or be crazy. Okay? And Andrew Tate is exactly the figurehead they give you. He's a crazy man. Except he's not. He's playing the character of, a crazy, eccentric guy. And because he's rich, it's all fine. Which is the opposite of what is true. Okay? You don't need to be crazy to notice that there's something wrong with this world. Okay? And if you think there's something wrong with this world, you don't have to follow these clowns and be crazy. If you think there's something wrong with this world, you can follow Jesus and be a child of God. Okay? Because that is the real deception that's going on here. And that is the only deception that there is, really. And the enemy wants you to focus on these clowns, and they want you to focus on the New World Order, the WEF, because they are going to provide the solution to the New World Order and the WEF, okay? And it's going to be a guy who's going to come along, and he's going to unite all the world's religions, and he's going to unite all the world, and he's going to bring this false peace. He's going to sweep away the NWO and the WF and everyone that Candace Owens and Andrew Tate are telling you about, okay? And really what he's going to be doing is guiding you away from the true light of the world as Jesus Christ. That's the truth. That's the truth. And that's why these characters that they give you to follow, they lead you down a path that makes you look crazy because they actually detest you, these people that are pretending that they got you back. That's actually what's happening. Anyway, I hope this video made sense to some, if not all of you. Stay blessed. Subscribe to the channel. Support the channel if you can. I haven't got anyone supporting this channel apart from you, the viewers. Okay? If you don't support this channel, it's going to go away. There's not going to be much of it left anymore. Okay? I'm the real deal here, people. I don't have big financial supporters. I don't have, sponsors and this and that. It's you and me. Okay? Stay blessed. Have a good week. And I'll see you very soon. Mwah.